Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Sports Performance and Mindset Reset. Today, we're going to be focusing on pulling movement. So last week we did lots of pushing. Today we're going to do lots of pulling. So that will include lots of RDLs and some rows. So we're going to get right into it. What we're going to do today is we are going to do 20 seconds of work and then 10 seconds of rest. We're going to do that 2 times and then move back down to the next one. So that's kind of the flow for today, 3 times through. So getting started here with the demos, what we're going to start with here is a plank row. So we're on the ground. You can either be on your hands or and toes or on your hands and knees. I'm definitely going to be doing the knees today because when I do it from my toes, I tend to not feel it where I should be. So if we're on the knees here, we want to be nice and straight from our knees to our hips to our shoulders. And then one arm at a time coming up, pulling the dumbbell towards the butt, back down, and then the other side coming up and back down. So making sure too that our headlights on our hips are blinding the ground. I need to grab a mat after this because it's a little hard on the knees to do that. All right, so that's gonna be our first movement. And then after that, these can either be done with or without a dumbbell. I do recommend trying it without the dumbbells first, so that way we get a hang of it. And then like by round 2 or 3, adding some weight in. But we're gonna do single leg Romanian deadlifts here. And so we're gonna do 1 foot at a time. So here, making sure we're sinking into our hips. So push those hips back. Weights are still gonna be dragging along the front of the shin. Headlights blinding the ground, push the ground away and come back up. So we're gonna do that on one leg. So we're gonna do 20, 10, 20, 10, and then we'll switch to the other leg again, pushing the hips back. If we're still working on stability, one, I always recommend having flat shoes or taking your shoes off. So I honestly might just take my shoes off for the whole workout today because we're not doing any like jumping or anything, or wearing flat shoes. And then the other aspect that we can do is we can put that toe on the ground and then push the hips back from there. So we're still using one leg, but we have a little bit extra stability. So those are our options there. And then after that, we're going to do around the world raises. So making sure we're picking a lighter weight for these and we're pulling the weight all the way up overhead using our shoulders and back down. So I really want us to focus on squeezing through the shoulder, keeping our core tight. Again, using lighter weights than we normally do and coming back down. If we need to, you can still get the same out of it while doing that body weight as well. And then lastly, we're going to do 2-legged Romanian deadlifts. So usually, right, we just come down and back up. This time we're going nice and slow. So we're going to do 3 seconds down. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Pause for a second at the bottom. Push the ground away. 1, 2, 3. So that is our whole workout for the day. We can go ahead and get started with our warm-up. Just going to go off screen, grab a mat real quick, but we can make our way onto the ground into a half kneeling position here. We're going to do a little hip flexor hamstring, get our hamstrings warmed up. And it never hurts to warm up the hip flexor. We're going to start, we're going to tuck our pelvis, squeeze the glute of the knee that's on the ground and start to push those hips forward. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, rocking back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling back into our hip flexor stretch. We're just going to do 2 on each side. Nice big deep breath. And exhale, rocking back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale and come out of that. Now we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side. So switching our legs and tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute, push those hips forward. Nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, rocking back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, coming forward back to our hip flexor stretch. The last one here, push those hips forward. Nice big deep breath. And exhale, rock the hips back, toes to the ceiling. Nice deep breath. And we're going to exhale and come out of that. And then we're going to go ahead and make our way onto our feet We're gonna stand up, start at the top of our space. We're gonna do the world's greatest stretch so that way we get some rotation, open up our back muscles and the hips and the hamstrings as well. So interlace the fingers, pull the right knee towards the chest. Nice deep breath. And we're exhaling, stepping back into our reverse lunge, hands on the inside of our front foot. Keep that back leg nice and straight, nice big deep breath. And exhaling, opening up towards our front leg, gaze past the thumb. Nice deep breath. And we're exhaling, planting that hand on the outside of our front foot, push ourselves up into our hamstring stretch. Nice deep breath. And we're gonna exhale and bring our feet together and stand on up. Awesome. All right, same thing on the other side. Interlace the fingers, grab onto the left knee, pull the left knee towards the chest. Nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, stepping back into our reverse lunge, hands on the inside of the front foot. Keeping that big back leg nice and straight. We're gonna exhale, open up towards the right leg, gazing past our thumb, getting that rotation through the neck, through the spine, through the back. We're gonna inhale nice and deep. And we're exhaling, planting the hand on the outside of the front foot. Push ourselves up into the hamstring stretch. Nice big deep breath. And we're gonna exhale, bring our feet together and stand on up. Awesome. All right, we are ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna go ahead, get ready with the timer. We're gonna start on the ground, getting our dumbbells ready for our plank rows, alternating on each side. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 2 times through. 3, 2, 1, and whoops, and we're going. I was starting to count down before I even had the timer pulled up. All right, from the knees, making sure that we are nice and straight from our hips, keeping the core nice and tight. Pull the dumbbells towards the butt. 3, 2, 1. So since we are doing shorter rest periods, I do also recommend having a heavier set of dumbbells. Forgot to say that today. 3, 2, 1. I definitely should have grabbed a second one, but that's okay. This gives us time to really focus on pulling our hand by squeezing the armpits, making sure we're not rotating, aiming to blind our hips. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're getting ready, standing on up. We got single leg Romanian deadlifts. My shoes up here too, whoops. 3, 2, 1. So we're sinking into our back hip, pushing our hips back, just like with a regular Romanian deadlift. Keep that core tight, back flat, so we're squeezing the orange, cracking the egg, whatever we want to imagine. 3, 2, 1. We might have to move a little bit slower. We're doing the same leg. I started to switch legs. 3, 2, 1. So again, we can work on our stability by keeping our foot planted on the ground, but we're just have our toe still pushing through our working leg. So if you're using your right leg, we're really pushing the right foot, heel, big toe, little toe through the ground. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And again, we can always be doing this body weight to start. 3, 2, 1. This movement is really good, not only because we're working one leg at a time, so we can kind of work out any imbalances. My glutes are really sore today. But we're also working on our stability through our foot, through our ankle, working on the ground contact. 3, 2, 1, which is always really important for any movement. All movement starts with how our foot is in contact with the ground. 3, 2, 1. So this is a great way to kind of start to work on that. Again, pushing our hips back. If you notice, I'm not just leaning forward. That puts all of our low back into it. We want to push the hips back. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have around the world raises. Keep the weight light. 3, 2, 1. So bringing the dumbbells all the way up, over and around, and back down. Another thing that we can also focus on for this movement to make sure we're using the shoulders is keep our grip nice and loose. So I'm gonna scoot up a little bit. If you notice, like my hands are not fully grabbing around the dumbbell. I'm keeping it nice and loose, pulling with the shoulders. We're resting. I was talking too much, my bad. All right, we're starting again. 3, 2, 1. So keeping those hands nice and loose. Pull the dumbbells with the shoulders. Also keeping the core nice and tight. We're moving slow. We do not have to rush through. Focus on the intention. 3, 2, 1. All right, last movement here. We have Romanian deadlifts. 2 legs, 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. 3, 2, 1. So we're pulling our butt towards our belly button, and then we're pushing our hips back like we're closing a door, moving nice and slow. So we're only going to get a few reps in here. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and we're out of time. So we're done. It was hard to go 3, 2, 1 when I was in the middle of 1, 2, 3. So that's what we have for now. 3, 2, 1. Push the hips back, close the door, nice and slow. Pause for a second, and then push the ground away. Drive the heels into the ground. That's what's going to activate those glutes the way we want them to be activated. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job, y'all. 1 round down, starting with round 2. We're doing our plank rows. 3, 2, 1. So we're using the core, keeping our core engaged. That core strength is really going to help us with the anti-rotation aspect of things. Moving nice and slow, controlled. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna rest. We got 20 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. So after this round, we're going into our single leg Romanian deadlifts. But for now, we're focusing, squeezing through the armpit, pulling with our back muscles, and keeping that core nice and tight, like we're pushing our belly button into our spine. 3, 2, 1. All right, I find these shorter rest periods, I run out of time to talk. Single leg RDLs. 3, 2, 1. So plant the foot, push the hips back, sink into our hip. And again, just like with a regular Romanian deadlift, we're not going all the way to the ground. We're going until our hips are done moving. Keep that tension in the glute. 3, 2, 1. I realized I was going too far the other rounds. So that's why I want to push the hips until we're done. All right, we're getting ready. 3, 2, 1. Push the hips back. Push the ground away. Great job. Really focusing on pushing through the ground. So we're keeping our glutes and hamstrings working. Keep the balance going. 3, 2, 1. So anytime we feel a balance not working, we can go ahead and plant that toe. We're switching over to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Making sure we're either squeezing an orange, cracking an egg between the shoulder blades. Push the hips back like we're closing a door. Great job. Keep pushing. Whoops. We're doing good. 3, 2, 1. All right. We're going to rest 10 seconds, get right back into it. Making sure our hips are pointed towards the ground. 3, 2, 1. After this, we're going into our around the world raises. And then we will get into our regular Romanian deadlifts. And then we'll do another round, and then we'll reset our minds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are getting ready. Around the world raises, keeping that weight light, starting out outside of the legs. 3, 2, 1. Swinging the weight all the way up, over and around. Keep those hands nice and loose, coming back down. This is going to work all aspects of the shoulder. We're getting the fronts, the sides, and the backs. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to rest for 10 seconds. And then we're going to get back into it. And then we got our Romanian deadlifts. 3, 2, 1. So palms forward. Keep those hands loose. Keep the weight a little bit lighter. Great job. Working those shoulders and our back a little bit. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement of round 2. We got our Romanian deadlifts. 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. 3, 2, 1. So butt to belly button. Keep that core tight. Going down. 1, 2, 3. And back up. 1, 2, 3. So really important. We're focusing on pushing into the ground, not on pulling the weight up. 3, 2, 1. All right. We got one more of that, and then we're back on the ground for our plank rows for our last round. 3, 2, 1. We got 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Again, noticing I'm not going all the way down. I'm going until my hips are done moving back. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last round coming up on the ground, on our knees and hands. 3, 2, 1. So we got that core activated. Pull the dumbbells towards the butt. Exhale as we pull up. Great job. Focusing, keeping those headlights blind in the ground with our hips. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got 10 seconds. And then we got last round of those. And then we're on to our single leg Romanian deadlifts. 3, 2, 1. Pulling up, squeeze through the armpit, keeping one straight line from our head to our shoulders, to our hips, and onto our knees. Control the weight up. Keep that orange squeeze between our shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are done with those. Standing on up, single leg Romanian deadlifts. 3, 2, 1. So plant the foot, push those hips back. Again, only going until our hips are done moving. So my hips are done right about here. So I push the ground away, come back up. Keep that core tight, push our belly button into the spine. 3, 2, 1. Came too far forward on that one. All right, we're gonna do the same side. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. Push the hips back. Whoops. And push the ground away. You notice I'm saying push. We're focusing on pushing through the ground. Like I said, first round, this is going to help us with our foot contact with the ground. 3, 2, 1. All right. Switching on to the other leg. I'm going to do 2 of those. 3, 2, 1. Push the hips back. Push the ground away. This is also great for single leg strength, which is always important for really all sports. So you always do something, whether we're stopping, slowing down, speeding up, all of that. You need single leg strength. 3, 2, 1. Also helps with the imbalances as well. All right, last time doing this. 3, 2, 1. Keep that core tight. Push the hips back like we're closing a door with our butt. Using our core to keep everything nice and flat. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got 2 more movements, and then we're going to go ahead and Stretch out, relax the mind. 3, 2, 1. Going up, over and around and back down. We're cutting it close on time too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 20 seconds of these, 20 seconds of Romanian deadlifts, and then we'll go ahead and get on the ground for our cool down. So speeding up the end of the workout here a little bit. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're skipping our second round of that. We're doing Romanian deadlifts. One of these. 3, 2, 1. Keep that core tight. Push the hips back. Push the ground away. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great job. 3, 2, 1. And we are done with today's circuit. Nice job, y'all. Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. We're gonna go ahead and make our way onto yeah, I guess it is our ground, but onto the ground on our backs. And we're gonna do our figure 4 piriformis stretch. It's gonna help us. Oh, just got a head rush. It's gonna help us open up our glutes and our low back. So we're gonna have the left foot planted on the ground, right ankle above the left knee. That feels good. Go ahead and stay there. If you need a little bit more tension, we're gonna go ahead and interlace those fingers behind the knee or in front of the shin and start to pull that knee towards the chest. And while we are here, we're going to slow the breath down. So we're going to take nice big inhales. We want to inhale for about 3 to 4 seconds. So we're going to hold that breath in. And then we're going to exhale through the mouth. Longer than the inhale. So if we inhale for 3 seconds, I want us to aim for 4 to 5 seconds of an exhale. We're bringing everything back to the breath. And what I want us to do is with each exhale, we're just fully relax the body, release the tension, especially through the hands since they're pulling that knee forward. We want to really just relax through the arms, through our head, neck, and shoulders. And I just want us to picture any stress, any tension we have, whatever that looks like for you, just picture it in your head, all tensed up in your muscles. And I want us to just picture whatever that is, just releasing. So whether it's picturing your muscles relax, picturing, just any stress, whether that looks like maybe some steam releasing from your head, whatever that looks like, I want you to picture it. We're going to do one more breath here. And after we're done with that last exhale, we can gently bring that foot to the ground. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we got left ankle above the right knee. And if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little bit more, go ahead and interlace those fingers, grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin and start to pull towards your chest. I'm going to do a few big breaths here. Same thing, in through the nose for 3 to 4 seconds. We're going to hold for a few seconds and then exhale through the mouth. Make that exhale longer than the inhale. And as we're doing this again, we are picturing our tense muscles. So now you might notice that maybe this hip or glute was tighter than the other side. So while we're here, we're just gonna picture our tense muscles and then we're gonna picture them relaxing. So visualization is a really good technique to practice. And we can use this for, relaxing the body, which can then help relax the mind. We can also use it to kind of, manifest things, whether it's our goals for our fitness or our career or our personal life. Visualization can be a really strong tool. So we're going to kind of practice that a little bit this morning. We're starting off just picturing our muscles relax, releasing that tension. And one more deep breath here. And after we finish that exhale, we can bring that foot back towards the ground and then our other foot. And from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to lay flat on our backs. And we're going to slow the breath down just like we just were. So keeping that same pace of our inhales and exhales. And as we're laying here, we're just going to really focus on some visualization here to kind of round out our reset of the mind. So we're slowing the breath down. And now for us in our visualization, I want us to picture how we want the day to go. So that could be maybe picturing you finishing your water, eating, nice, fully balanced meals. That could be maybe having one less cup of coffee. That's me, if anyone's wondering, having less caffeine today. Or maybe it is, at the end of the day, making time for family or friends. Maybe it's a work task that we've got looming over our head that we want to accomplish. So I want you to just kind of take yourself through your day, maybe chunk it up in blocks. So we got the morning, afternoon, and evening. I want us to picture our ideal day. So how, if you were living your best life, how is that day going to look? And once we kind of have that ideal day in our head, I now want us to think of, 3 ways or 3 things we can do now that can help us get there by the end of the day. So we want a few action items because it's one thing to just picture it, but to put that into action, we need to do some, actionable steps here. So what is, maybe just one thing. What's one thing you can do this morning to set yourself up for your ideal day? Maybe that's, something, maybe you've already done something that isn't going to help you get there, and that's okay. What we can do is we can take those action items and apply them to tomorrow, to Sunday, to every day next week. So we just want to come up with a few action items of what we can do every day to help us just be our best selves and to live the life and the day that we want to for our best self. We're going to do one more deep breath here. And once we are kind of exhaling, finish that exhale, go ahead, gently wake your body up. We can move the head side to side, wiggle the fingers and toes. And you can feel free to stay there, keep breathing, keep visualizing the day, or we can go ahead and roll over onto the side, make our way to seated, kneeling, or standing. But that is going to be all the time we have for today's class. So thank you so much for joining me. Always love starting off Friday, with a nice little relaxing mindset reset. We do have one more class today at 12 o'clock. And then next week, we got our normal classes going all week. So hopefully we'll see you there. But thank you for coming. Nice job. And I'll see y'all next week.